What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Call of Duty's matchmaking systems are a problem. We already know that. And no, today's video is not going to be an exploration on skill-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking. I've talked about those two matchmaking systems a lot here on this channel, and I want to take a break from that and shine the spotlight on two other aspects of Call of Duty's matchmaking system that I believe need to be addressed. The first one is one that we've seen in older Call of Duty games that constantly gets brought up to be brought back. And that is, of course, persistent lobbies. Not sure why it went away, but we just never have gotten them back. So I want to talk about that. But before we touch on that, I want to talk about this other thing that I swear to God was a part of Call of Duty at one point in time, but I am having a tough time finding any information on it, so maybe it's just my brain making up a false reality. And that is, of course, quitting a match and not rejoining that same match you just quit. Now, this isn't me advocating for rage quitting or quitting matches at all. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be an advocate for that. But there are reasons why you'd want to quit. Maybe your friends joined up, I don't know. Maybe there was a cheater in the lobby and you didn't want to deal with it. Maybe everybody else on your team already quit. Maybe you're getting stomped. Whatever it could be. Maybe the connections was bad, right? There's a lot of different reasons to quit. It's not just rage reasons why you quit a match. I don't get why you're put right back into that same lobby again. But this has been something that's been ongoing in Call of Duty for years. And for whatever reason, I have it in my brain that there was a Call of Duty game that eliminated that. If somebody can correct me, I'd love to hear it down below in that comment section, because I believe that was a thing at one point. And I don't know why it isn't anymore. You quit that match. You've told the algorithm, I don't want to play in this match. I'm not having fun. If the goal is to optimize my playtime, you should not be putting me back in that match. You should be finding me a different match. That should be how the algorithm works. And I know the common argument is, well, just wait. Change game modes, this or that. And I get that. I'm not saying not to do that either. I'm just saying that Call of Duty should also have something in place to not put that player in that same match again, because there's a reason why they left. Don't force them back in the same match, because they're probably just going to quit again, which restarts the cycle all over again. And this is the result of them utilizing an algorithm, right? Because that algorithm already deemed that certain match to be perfect along the lines of the skill-based matchmaking system or the engagement optimized matchmaking system, whatever they use. They already deemed that match to be good for you. It's a good match, so they put you in it. But there should be something within that algorithm that says, oh, this player already played in this match. We have to de-incentivize it and put them in something else, even if it takes an extra second or two to get them into a match. And that's what I'd like to see. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution. Like, I still don't want to incentivize players to quit matches, because trust me, it sucks being on either end of those matches. When you're playing a 6-on-3 or a 6-on-2, it's not fun being the 2, and it's sometimes, more often than not fun being the 6. Like, I come from Halo, where there is no join in progress. At least in Halo 3. There might be in Halo Infinite, but I don't think so. I could be wrong there, though. And with Halo 3, there were so many times where players would quit out and all of a sudden it was a 4-on-2, a 4-on-1, and those are never fun, because it's just 4 guys team shooting 1 guy, and it is not really enjoyable for anyone, and it more often than not just goes to time limit anyways, unless that person is totally fine just running in the middle and dying repeatedly. It's just not as engaging, right? And if the goal is engagement, if the goal is to optimize fun, we should try to de-incentivize players repeatedly going into the same match time and time again. So those are my thoughts there. Don't quit, but if you do, I don't think you should be placed in the same match again. Simple as that. So now let's talk about disbanding lobbies, or persistent lobbies, as I'd like to see Call of Duty move back to, because we definitely had these at one point in time. I don't need anybody to fact check that. I know that for a fact. I was playing Call of Duty and had many experiences with persistent lobbies, and I love them. I've hated the fact that they've been eliminated. And part of the reason why they've been eliminated is, of course, the skill-based matchmaking system, but I also believe it's to decrease the toxicity within the game. Because those that remember the persistent lobbies that we used to have, know that the trash talking got to some pretty toxic levels, we'll say. And like, there's toxicity in Black Ops 6, don't get me wrong, but with persistent lobbies, I feel like the toxicity would like jump another level. And with all of the different moderation that we see in chat and voice, I feel like bans would be coming left, right, and center, and maybe Call of Duty just doesn't want to deal with that. But I don't think it should matter. Again, it's an 18+ game. If you don't like what someone's saying, you can mute them, you can block them, you can do a lot of things. Just get rid of them, right? But if that's part of the reason, to me, I just feel like that's a weak reason to rob this community of something that gave it a sense of community. Like when you played with the same people consistently and you'd go against them and they'd be on your team sometimes, it just gave it a bigger feeling than what it currently is right now, especially as a solo player. Like you'd party up with people after a few games, you get to know people. It all felt like you were part of a bigger community. And right now, the game feels more isolating than ever before because every single lobby is just a brand new lobby of people. Something that was optimized as per an algorithm instead of any type of organic feeling to it whatsoever. It makes the game feel less authentic, less genuine, and that really feeds and trickles down into the overall experience. You don't connect to the game the same way because you don't have the same connection to the community. But I know what some of you are going to say. You hold Halo on this high pedestal, and they had disbanding lobbies. You're right, they did. That was one of the negatives of Halo, and I will always say that about their matchmaking system. I wish lobbies were persistent. Obviously not in ranked play, but in social, it'd be nice if the lobbies were persistent. That'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun. I wish they had that feature. They don't. I want that same standard in Call of Duty because we've had it before. It worked. It was a part of the ecosystem of the game. And when they took it away, it just felt like a piece of the game was left behind. And that's not a great feeling, especially when it was something that was just so simple. And we kind of just took it for granted, and now it's gone. And yeah, they tried to bring it back, kind of, but not really in MW2. And then it was just forgotten about, pretended like it never happened. Like, we've heard rumors here and there that it's returning, and it never comes back. And it's like one of those things that I think would do Call of Duty a lot of good. Would it necessarily save Black Ops 6? No, I don't really think there's much that can save this game. Unless, of course, they completely overhaul their philosophy around it. But that's probably asking for too much. Let's instead ask for what I brought up today. Let's ask for persistent lobbies and not to rejoin a game that you've already quit. I think those are two really reasonable requests. But let me know down below in the comments section how you feel about it. Would these enhance the game? Would they not change the game at all? Or would they make the game worse? I'd love to hear those thoughts down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.